on individuals. You know, big question I think we need to ask is, and people need to ask themselves these questions, what does the real estate industry of the future look like? And only from that perspective can you then determine, what does the real estate brokerage firm of the future look like? What does the real estate agent of the future look like? And most importantly, what does the consumer, real estate consumer of the future look like? And if we can then look at that and put that together, we'll be fine. And we've talked about this for many years. If we keep the consumer in mind and we keep those speed, convenience, choice, value added, quality, service, discounts, information, those are the things consumers are looking for. So if you're in your practice, if you're paying attention to what's going on, if you're paying attention to the context, then the content can be utilized for your benefit instead of being utilized against you.
This is so interesting because this goes back to the Realtown days, and that's when you had actually started the first online communities when nobody knew what they were, like Real Talk, AE Talk, MLS Talk. I mean, President's Talk. I mean, there was a way for us to communicate, and it was a combination, because that was the chant: speed, convenience, choice, value-added discounts, quality, information, and service. But it wasn't just that. It was, what kinds of combinations of that can you get? You know, the combination of quality service. Well, what is that? You know, because it's going to be different to people's interpretation. And then the whole ePro thing, trying to get people up to speed on the internet thing, because you remember the chant. It was like, why would I want to spend $1,200 on something dark gray being a laptop that I couldn't wear? I mean, it didn't make sense because there was no progression for it. And now no one can do anything. I mean, look at the number of cell phone users. And you used to quote Alexander, you know, the pushback for Alexander Graham Bell is like, well, everybody'd have to have one. Oh, that was impossible. Now everybody has one, basically, even in third world countries. So there seems to me that...
Wait, stop a minute, Terry. Remember this. We put together a program in 1995, and it was called Getting Connected. Getting Connected, because we believed, and it was true, that people were not going to go online all by themselves. Something had to motivate them. Something had to take them across the chasm. Remember Jeffrey Moore's book?
Yes, of course.
And so how did they get across the chasm? Well, we actually did a program. We took it nationwide. You were with it. It was you and me and Mike Burnett and John Riley. We did it thousands of times. We told the story over and over and over again. It was about getting connected, which meant plugging a telephone line into the back of your computer that nobody had. So we were like selling, we used to kid with Carl DeMuse. It was like we were trying to sell records to people who didn't own record players. Right.
Yeah,
and now today you look, everybody, and we use the word ubiquitous because we read it in a book by Nicholas Negroponte, Being Digital. Now everybody has it. Now it is ubiquitous. So I just have to say, congratulations. You did a great job because everybody is connected.
Yeah, no, you were the one that did that. And yes, we were in every little town and valley on the planet trying to help realtors take the terror out of technology. Now the technology isn't the terror, it's what the data can do or is shining a light on, that it's going to transform our industry. Well, I certainly hope you'll join us for some regular segments, because this is so deep and so complicated. There's
a lot of things. I think it's just a lot of details that people need to build a context. And then all these details are dots. I told John Riley, we've talked about this for years. It's about connecting the dots. And so you build a context and then you connect the dots. And I'd love to be able to help you, help people connect the dots and kind of categorize the things that are important for them to know about, and then give them a resource where they can go and read about it and make their own decisions.
Well, when you were the CEO of Point2 Technologies, which goes back to 2008, and you were heavily involved in that aggregation of MLS information and how the syndication would work, that, of course, is another whole element that I'd like to have you come back and join us for. I know that if someone wanted more information about this transformation of data and what's going on in the industry as we look at the future of real estate, where would you like them to go?
Well, thedataadvocate.com, the THE dataadvocate.com would be a good place to start. And we're going to do the best job we can to get relevant information and resources available to people who have an interest in the real estate industry.
And if someone wanted to contact you for speaking, for consulting, for any of the services that you provide by yourself and or with your team, what would be the easiest way to reach you?
Saul at saulklein.com.
That's pretty easy. Well, Saul Klein, you have been one of the major gifts and disruptors, in a kind way, to the real estate industry. I am so delighted that you joined us here at Realty Times today in the men's room. And I would invite you again to join us on a consistent basis to bring us up to date what's going on with all things real estate, including NAR and everything that goes with that as we progress into this new millennium of real estate and how it's going to affect us. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, Terry. I look forward to doing this again.